Before the map of the modern world was ever drawn, there existed an era in which human beings were completely powerless before the imposing might of nature. A place that reason and science had never reached, where only the most primitive laws of survival held dominion. A place where the green labyrinths of the Colombian jungle concealed the sunlight, where the rivers exhaled the breath of death, and the solitary summits always remained shrouded in a mystic fog. Here, long before science had time to give names to things, the killer instinct had already reached absolute perfection. The most dangerous predators of South America did not merely survive, they dominated the darkness. Welcome to South America, the home of the most dangerous predators on the planet. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel to support us and keep creating high-quality content. Do not forget to leave your opinion in the comments and tell us where you are watching from so we can have a conversation. Above the tallest canopy of the tropical rainforest lives one of the most formidable raptors evolution has ever produced. The harpy eagle Harpia harpyia is the undisputed sovereign of the canopy, a hunter whose mere presence is enough to alter the behavior of every primate living among the branches. Each mated pair constructs enormous nests atop towering trees where they may spend months raising a single chick. While one adult stands guard over the nest with unwavering focus, the other dedicates much of the day to combing the canopy for food. Its massive talons, comparable to those of a bear, allow it to seize prey of a weight that defies all logic for a bird. Despite its imposing wingspan, it threads through the treetops in near silent flight, without disturbing a single leaf in its path. For the monkeys and sloths living among the branches, danger can materialize from the sky without the faintest warning. From an elevated perch, the harpy spots a sloth moving slowly through the foliage and holds perfectly still, watching its prey while calculating the ideal moment to strike with cold precision. Using the forest's cover, it closes the distance in silence without revealing its position. When everything aligns in its favor, it drops from above with explosive speed toward its target, and those powerful talons lock onto the prey before it gets the slightest chance to react. The hunt ends through a combination of stealth precision and a strength that few aerial predators on the planet can match. With the meal secured, the harpy returns to the massive nest where its chick waits with patience. In the tropical forests of the Americas, the harpy proves a truth no forest dweller can dispute. Dominion over the jungle belongs to the one who descends from the sky without making a sound. In the murky rivers of the Amazon, where visibility drops to just a few meters, a predator of legendary terror lies in wait. The red-bellied piranha, Pygocentris natareri, embodies lethal opportunism in the continent's freshwater systems. This fish carries a deceptively small appearance, reaching an average length of 20 to 35 centimeters in adulthood. Yet its compact body conceals one of the most efficient attack mechanisms that biological evolution has ever refined. Its most terrifying feature is a protruding jaw lined with triangular teeth, sharpened like razor blades. These interlock flawlessly, allowing it to tear away chunks of flesh with a surgical precision no other river fish can replicate. Its bite force is staggering, hitting 72 newtons, equivalent to 30 times its own body weight. Thanks to its sensitive lateral line, the piranha detects vibrations from wounded animals and traces blood across vast distances, even through pitch-black water. In those sediment-heavy currents, this biological radar turns it into an invisible and omnipresent hunter capable of locating a target before it even knows it's being watched. Though they typically move alone, they swarm in massive numbers the instant they detect a vulnerable prey, unleashing a coordinated feeding frenzy that leaves zero margin of escape. A group of 100 individuals can strip a 50-kilogram animal down to bare skeleton in minutes, leaving nothing but bone as testimony to their efficiency. They also fulfill a vital ecological mission as the river's cleanup crew, eliminating carcasses that would otherwise contaminate the ecosystem. Every living thing that crosses these waters with an open wound becomes a target for these bloodthirsty sentinels. Yet despite their aggression, piranhas themselves fall prey to caimans and pink river dolphins, maintaining the balance of the Amazonian food web. The piranha is a constant reminder that in the river's abyss, even the smallest creature holds the power to dominate giants. In the rivers, lagoons, and swamps of the Colombian Amazon dwells one of South America's greatest freshwater predators. The black caiman Melanosuchus niger is an ancient reptile that has governed these waters for millions of years without any rival successfully dethroning it. The largest males exceed 5 meters, making them the apex predators of the entire Amazonian river system. Their eyes and nostrils barely break the surface, while the rest of the body remains submerged, invisible to any prey approaching the bank. Fish, water birds, mammals, and even other reptiles can all feature in its varied diet, with no clear limit to what this hunter is willing to attack. In these wetlands, it shares territory with two equally fearsome rivals, the jaguar and the green anaconda, and all three apex predators compete constantly for the best hunting grounds and available prey. As the afternoon fades, a water bird approaches the bank to feed, oblivious to the danger lurking beneath the surface. The caiman holds perfectly still, letting the current erase any trace of its presence, while the prey closes the distance. When the moment is perfect, it erupts with an explosion of force and launches a lightning strike that leaves no possibility of escape. Yet even a predator this powerful can lose a prize to an opportunistic jaguar, or find itself confronting a giant anaconda contesting the same waters. The competition among these three titans is precisely what maintains the delicate balance of one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. In the winding currents of the Amazon lives a group of mammals that shatters the cuddly image typically associated with their kind. The giant otter, Pteronura brasiliensis, is nicknamed the river wolf, a title earned not through gentleness, but through collective ferocity. An adult can reach nearly 2 meters in length, making it the largest member of the weasel family. Weighing up to 32 kilograms, this social predator carries a physical structure engineered for aquatic agility. Its tail is broad and muscular, functioning as a powerful rudder that allows tight turns at high speed beneath the surface. Unlike other solitary hunters, giant otters operate in family groups of up to 10, where unity forms the foundation of their survival. Communication drives their success. They use more than 20 distinct sounds to coordinate movements during the hunt. Their rhythmic screams and sharp whistles echo through the jungle, informing every member of a prey's position before it can flee. During the hunt, the group deploys a biological encirclement strategy surrounding schools of fish with military precision that leaves zero escape route. They're capable of taking down large fish and even piranhas displaying an audacity that intimidates every other inhabitant of the river. Their jaws carry a bite force of hundreds of newtons, enough to crush shells and bones that other predators wouldn't even attempt to crack. Their true sovereignty is demonstrated when they confront the black caiman in territorial disputes without showing an ounce of fear. The group harasses the reptile with rapid strikes and intimidating screams until it's forced to retreat from waters they consider their own. This collective bravery places them at the apex of the food chain as guardians of the river ecosystems. They possess highly sensitive whiskers that detect pressure changes in the water, locating prey even in total darkness where eyesight is useless. Their metabolism runs so frantically it forces them to consume up to 4 kilograms of fresh fish in a single active day. Giant otters are also the architects of the riverbanks, excavating deep burrows that shield their young from the elements and from nocturnal predators. Every individual in the group assumes responsibility for monitoring the surroundings while others feed or rest beneath the shade of the riverside trees. The disappearance of this apex predator would trigger an irreversible collapse in the biodiversity of the Amazonian lakes, a chain reaction that would ripple through the entire food web. The giant otter is the indomitable spirit of the water, a marvel of intelligence and unity that reigns with absolute authority over the flooded jungle. The Amazon's surface looks like a mirror of calm, concealing an invisible danger beneath the current. Suddenly, the water vibrates with unseen energy, and a nearby prey begins convulsing with no apparent explanation. The architect of this attack is the electric eel, Electrophorus electricus, a fish that has converted its own body into a living battery capable of dictating the rules of life in the river's abyss. With a cylindrical body that can stretch to 2.5 meters in length, this creature navigates the turbid waters with a sovereignty no other river inhabitant dares challenge. Its anatomy houses specialized organs composed of thousands of electrocytes capable of generating high-voltage discharges at the predator's will. A full discharge can release up to 860 volts, enough to stun animals far larger than itself. Unlike other hunters, its lethal weapon doesn't reside in sharpened fangs, but in electric shocks that paralyze the victim's nervous system before it can even comprehend what's happening. It also uses low-intensity pulses as a biological radar capable of detecting the subtlest movement of fish hidden in the bottom mud. This attack system is so formidable that even 100-kilogram predators like the jaguar avoid direct contact with this creature. The electric eel is the sovereign of the invisible current, an evolutionary marvel that imposes its own laws in the river's depths. In Colombia, few animals provoke a silence as deep and immediate as the appearance of the jaguar. Panthera onca, the largest cat in the Americas and one of the most powerful predators on the planet, walks without a sound among roots, damp leaves and dense shadows, as though the jungle itself parts exclusively for him. Its rosette-patterned coat merges with the canopy light, concealing its silhouette, even from just a few meters away. Unlike other big cats, the jaguar doesn't fear water patrolling rivers, flooded forests and swamps with equal authority. Its compact muscular body is built for short, powerful, and precise attacks where every strike counts. Its bite ranks among the most powerful of any cat, capable of piercing skulls, turtle shells, and the natural defenses of much larger prey. Capybaras, pecaris, waterbirds, caimans, and countless other animals live under the constant pressure of this supreme hunter. The jaguar spots a caiman near the bank and freezes within the vegetation, advancing slowly while using roots, shadows, and the sound of the water to mask its steps. When it reaches the ideal distance, it launches with explosive power toward the prey's vulnerable point with zero margin for error. The hunt is decided by absolute precision, where the jaguar's strength transforms the forest's silence into dominion over every creature around it. Its presence regulates populations of herbivores, reptiles, and riverside animals, maintaining the balance of the web of life. Wherever it walks, the ecosystem reorganizes itself around its power, stealth, and adaptation. In the Amazon, the jaguar doesn't just dominate the jungle, it also governs the dark waters, the swamps, and every frontier where land meets river. Beneath the shadow of the rainforest's towering trees walks a living jewel that defies all logic of size. The golden poison dart frog Philobates terribilis is the undisputed sovereign of toxicity on dry land, a tiny titan that no predator dares touch. At just 5 centimeters, its body glows in yellows and oranges that shimmer under the light filtering through the leaves. A fascinating question arises: how can a creature the size of a human finger force even jaguars to keep their distance? The secret lies in its skin, a biological shield loaded with batrachotoxins, one of the most potent venoms known to science. A single specimen carries enough toxin to shut down the nervous system of 10 adult humans without needing to bite or inject anything. Unlike snakes, this frog doesn't bite. Its mere physical contact represents a death sentence for any attacker foolish enough to ignore the warning. Predators have learned across millennia that vibrant colors are the most serious danger signal the wild can broadcast. Its venom originates from a highly specialized diet of ants and beetles, whose alkaloids are processed and accumulated in its skin glands until they reach lethal concentrations. Despite its destructive potential, the frog is a devoted parent, carrying its tadpoles on its back, while patiently searching for small water pools where they can grow safely. The dart frog also serves as a vital indicator of ecosystem health, its fragility, warning us about the true condition of the virgin Amazon rainforest. It is the tiny titan of the rainbow, a reminder that in the wild, beauty is often the mask of absolute power. In the highest reaches of the Colombian jungle, where branches touch the clouds, lives an acrobat whose entire existence unfolds in a state of perpetual motion. The spider monkey, belonging to the genus Atales, is the undisputed master of aerial agility and the sovereign of the forest canopy. Its physique is a marvel of evolutionary engineering, extraordinarily long and slender limbs functioning as biological ropes strung between the treetops. A robust adult typically weighs around 9 kilograms, an intentionally light mass designed to maximize speed and minimize impact on the most fragile branches. They carry a unique adaptation among primates, the absence of opposable thumbs, which allows them to swing from tree to tree with fluid rhythm. But their true masterpiece is the prehensile tail, a tool that functions as an extraordinarily powerful fifth hand. The tail can measure up to 80 centimeters, often exceeding the length of the body itself. At its tip, it bears skin ridges similar to human fingerprints, providing total grip on slippery bark. It can support the monkey's full weight, letting it hang freely while both hands gather fruit. In its aerial dance, the spider monkey hits speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, crossing abysses of vegetation in seconds. Yet life in the heights is a constant tension, shadowed by the most powerful predator in the sky, the harpy eagle. In the impenetrable jungles of Colombia, where biodiversity reaches its fullest expression, a voice resonates that dominates the entire landscape with a power no other animal can match. The red howler monkey, Alouatta sinaculus, is the absolute sovereign of sound in the forest canopy. This robust primate can reach 9 kilograms, ranking among the largest on the American continent. Its most extraordinary trait is an enlarged hyoid bone in the throat that functions as a resonance chamber capable of amplifying its voice to staggering levels. The howler monkey's roar can hit 128 decibels audible from an astonishing 5 kilometers away through the densest jungle. This sonic explosion isn't merely a scream, it's a declaration of territorial sovereignty that prevents unnecessary physical conflicts and maintains order among rival clans without the need for blood. They spend much of their lives on the highest branches, feeding on leaves and wild fruits that provide the energy to sustain their powerful vocal apparatus. Their prehensile tail acts as an additional hand, allowing them to grip with great force while navigating the heights. Yet the canopy's peace shatters when the harpy eagle materializes like a winged phantom above the jungle, while the jaguar lurks on the lower trunks with lethal patience and the strength to climb. Vigilance is a collective mission, where the group's leaders scan the horizon for any sign of suspicious movement. Upon detecting a predator, the dominant male fires off an alarm bark that freezes the entire clan and orders an immediate strategic retreat. They live in troops of up to 15 individuals, where daily cooperation is the only effective shield against the claws of the Lords of Hunger. As forest engineers, their role in seed dispersal guarantees the biological vitality of Colombia's jungles for entire generations. Moving away from the howler monkey's powerful roars, we enter a realm where time itself seems to stop completely. High in the canopy of Colombia's forests lives the three-toed sloth Biodiverse variegatus, an enigmatic creature that has perfected a survival strategy built entirely on immobility. Weighing 4 to 5 kilograms, its body is designed to conserve energy in an environment of limited resources. Its most extraordinary feature is its dense fur home to a community of microscopic algae and moths. Under the jungle's humidity, the algae give it a greenish tint that provides near-perfect camouflage. This symbiosis renders it invisible to the harpy eagle patrolling the skies in search of any movement. The sloth moves with deliberate slowness, covering barely 38 meters in a full day of activity. Its 10-centimeter curved claws function as steel hooks that let it hang from branches, effortlessly supported by the very geometry of its body. It possesses a unique vertebral structure that allows it to rotate its head up to 270 degrees to survey its surroundings without moving its torso. Its metabolism is the slowest among terrestrial mammals, taking up to a month to digest a single meal of tough leaves. Once a week, the sloth makes a perilous journey to the forest floor to fulfill its basic biological needs, a descent that exposes it to every danger on solid ground. On the ground, it's extremely vulnerable to jaguar attack, but it reclaims its sovereignty the moment it scrambles back to the heights where no cat can match it. It also fulfills a vital ecological mission as a nutrient transporter and home to a miniature biodiversity that exists only on its skin. The three-toed sloth is the guardian of silence in the Colombian jungle, a masterpiece of adaptation achieved through absolute peace. On the alluvial plains, where water and land merge into a shifting landscape, lives a gentle giant that dominates the wetlands with its presence. The capybara Hydrochoerus hydrochaeris is the largest rodent on the planet, a marvel of semi-aquatic evolution. Reaching 1.3 meters in length and weighing up to 66 kilograms, this stocky mammal is covered in sparse, coarse fur that dries rapidly after leaving the Amazon's currents. Its feet carry interdigital membranes that function as biological paddles, granting it a swimming agility that surprises anyone who sees its bulk. Like hippos, its eyes, ears, and nostrils sit atop the head, allowing it to stay alert while submerged with barely any body visible. The capybara is a social creature living in hierarchical groups of up to 40 individuals, using collective vigilance as its first line of defense. Yet occupying the center of the food web means being perpetually in the crosshairs of the jungle's fiercest predators. The jaguar, with its 4,500 Newton bite, regards the capybara as its most vital and coveted energy source in the region. In the murky depths, the green anaconda waits like a living rope, poised to coil around and subdue this heavy prey with relentless constricting pressure. On the muddy banks, the black caiman lies motionless, blending with its surroundings until the moment of the lightning strike. For the capybara, the river isn't just a home, it's the only safe sanctuary where it can escape land-based death. At the faintest signal of danger, the group's sentinel fires off a powerful bark that acts as an instant biological alarm siren. In milliseconds, the entire herd plunges into the water, using deep submersion to vanish from the sight of the hunter patrolling the bank. They can remain completely submerged for a full 5 minutes, hiding their trail until the threat retreats. Its diet, based on aquatic plants and grasses, regulates vegetation growth along the river channels, fulfilling an ecological role no other herbivore can replace. As a keystone species, its abundance sustains the existence of the great carnivores and maintains the balance of the entire Amazonian ecosystem. They communicate through whistles, clicks, and whimpers that strengthen emotional bonds and cooperation within the clan, a private language that only they can decipher. The capybara's life is a constant balancing act between tranquil grazing and the desperate sprint toward the safety of the water, a pendulum on which every second of its existence depends. Among the emerald green of the Colombian canopy bursts a flash of color that breaks the forest's monotony. The Toko toucan Ramphastos toko is the most iconic ambassador of the South American jungles, a creature that seems born from nature's wildest dream. Its most spectacular feature is a colossal beak that can reach 20 centimeters in length, representing nearly a third of the bird's total body size. Despite its massive appearance, the beak is composed of a spongy keratin structure that makes it astonishingly light, allowing the toucan to maintain perfect balance while moving with agility through the thinnest branches. The beak functions as a long-reach pincer, letting it access fruits that are unreachable for other forest inhabitants. But its purpose extends beyond feeding. It also serves as a sophisticated thermoregulation system. By controlling blood flow to the beak, it can release excess heat when temperatures exceed 30 degrees, keeping it active under the tropical sun while other animals seek shade. As a gardener of the forest, the toucan fulfills a vital ecological mission as a major seed disperser in the jungle. By consuming the pulp and dropping seeds kilometers away, it guarantees regeneration and biodiversity with every flight. Its deep black body provides camouflage among the shadows of the foliage, hiding it from aerial predators. Though primarily frugivorous, it also acts as an opportunistic hunter, raiding nests to consume eggs and small chicks. It communicates through hoarse, croaking calls that resonate through the humid air, marking its territory with a vocal authority recognized across the forest. Above the green ocean of Colombia's jungles, the sky fills with vivid fragments of color that defy all description. The scarlet macaw is the sovereign of the color spectrum in the Amazon, and the biogeographic choco. Reaching up to 90 centimeters in length, this bird unfurls a wingspan that commands the air with elegance. Its plumage blends scarlet red, brilliant yellow, and cobalt blue, a biological masterwork created for social identification within the flock. It possesses an extraordinary intelligence, comparable to that of primates, enabling it to solve complex problems and use natural tools with surprising dexterity. Its massive beak is a perfect instrument, capable of exerting 2,000 newtons of pressure to crack the hardest seeds in the forest, accessing energy sources that other animals cannot exploit. The scarlet macaw is deeply social, traveling in noisy flocks and communicating through powerful cries that echo for kilometers. These birds form lifelong monogamous pairs with a lifespan that can reach 50 years. Together, they patrol the canopy at 56 kilometers per hour, searching for ripe, fruiting trees across the vastness of virgin jungle. As an architect of regeneration, the macaw performs a vital ecological mission as one of the primary long-distance seed dispersers. By carrying fruits far afield and dropping seeds in new territories, it ensures forest biodiversity constantly expands into frontiers it had never reached before. Despite its power, it must remain vigilant against the harpy eagle, its only predator capable of intercepting it mid-flight with lethal precision. The loss of tall nesting trees represents a critical threat to its survival, forcing the birds to seek increasingly remote refuges within a jungle that shrinks year after year. In the dense, humid air of the Colombian Andes appears a miracle of physics suspended in absolute stillness, while its wings vibrate at a frantic 80 beats per second. Colombia is the country harboring more hummingbird species than anywhere else on the planet, with over 160 distinct species decorating every stratum of the virgin jungle. The hummingbird, belonging to the family Trochilidae, is a precision biological engine that defies gravity with every second of flight. It's the only flyer capable of flying backward and sideways with a mastery impossible for any other winged creature. This agility allows it to dart among dense flowers at 50 kilometers per hour in search of food. Its heart hits 1,200 beats per minute to maintain an energy metabolism unmatched in the animal kingdom. Under sunlight, its iridescent feathers act as biological prisms, reflecting flashes of emerald, ruby, and purple, transforming every movement into a living spectacle of color. Each day is a desperate race to collect every drop of nectar, the source of pure fuel that prevents total physical collapse. A hummingbird can visit up to 2,000 flowers in a single day, processing sugars with an efficiency no other vertebrate on the planet possesses. Its forked, extensible tongue launches into the heart of corollas to extract the sweet treasure in milliseconds with a precision that human engineering can barely comprehend. Despite its tiny size, it's a territorial warrior that defends its flower patches with an explosive aggression that startles anyone who witnesses it. During the freezing mountain nights, when temperatures drop below 10 degrees, the hummingbird enters a state of deep dormancy called torpor, reducing its metabolism to the bare minimum needed to survive until dawn. As the primary pollinator of the Andean forests, it guarantees the reproduction of thousands of unique plants that depend on its intervention. Colombia's jungle is a vertical metropolis, a world of layers where life is organized in strata, like floors of a biological skyscraper. At the dark base, the forest floor remains in perpetual shadow, receiving less than 2% of the sunlight that reaches the canopy. Among the ceiba roots, the jaguar patrols as master of the terrestrial shadows, with no creature questioning its dominion. In the understory dense shrubs harbor the golden poison dart frog and countless insects competing for vital space. Colossal trunks support this biological high-rise soaring up to 60 meters. In the middle stratum, constant humidity creates a natural greenhouse where orchids and bromeliads draw nutrients directly from the air. The upper canopy is the kingdom of light, an emerald carpet where the sun fuels the engine of Amazonian biodiversity. This layer shelters 80% of the jungle's species, making it the densest center of biological activity on Earth. From the sky, the harpy eagle watches with talons that apply 4,000 newtons of force on any primate that commits a tactical error among the branches. Monsoon rain hammers the upper leaves, beginning a rhythmic descent that transports energy from the crown to the floor. Every level of this vegetable city hosts its own food web, where hunts and chasers never pause for a single instant day or night. This unique geographical intersection makes Colombia the epicenter of wildlife on the continent, harboring species that exist nowhere else on the planet. Protecting Colombia is a moral responsibility for all of humanity. Its forests regulate the climate and oxygen of an entire continent. Colombia remains the beacon of global biodiversity, a kingdom of giants fighting for survival in the green heart of the planet. Sunlight filters through the riverside canopy, casting patches of brightness across the damp earth. Less than a kilometer from the open plain, another kingdom exists, silent, vertical, and lethal. This is the domain of the leopard. A young 3-year-old leopard rests on a marula branch tail hanging without hairy eyes, half closed. Below, a small herd of antelope passes without suspecting a thing. The leopard's body is an engineering masterpiece. Its floating clavicle, disconnected from the skeleton, allows the shoulders to rotate freely when climbing and leaping. Powerful muscles absorb the impact of drops from more than 4 meters high. It can launch more than 6 meters horizontally and 3 meters vertically, numbers no other cat on the savannah can match. It leapt without hesitation. From 5 meters up, its body hurled into the void in a brief freefall. Gravity combined with raw muscular force transformed 50 kilograms of flesh and bone into a living mass of power, plummeting directly toward its target. In a single instant, its fangs sank with precision into the prey's neck. One bite, one brief moment, and it was over. Gravity plus fangs, a death formula that 40 million years of evolution have refined to the edge of perfection. But the young leopard doesn't stay on the ground. Its true kingdom is up above, where thin branches become highways, and every leap is a gamble between life and death. A troop of vervet monkeys advances through the canopy. The leopard chases at full speed, sprinting across the branches as if flying, vaulting from tree to tree over a 6-meter void. The monkeys shriek and scatter in panic, but the leopard is faster. It snatches one mid-air. 2 bodies plunge together. Then the claws bite into bark and arrest the fall halfway down. In the trees, the leopard reigns without rival. But every crown carries its price, and a throne is never shared. In that same territory, another battle is about to erupt. Not between different species, but a bloodbath between 2 generations. An old leopard fangs, worn and muzzle crossed with scars, patrols the boundaries of a territory he's defended for more than 7 years. But time forgives no one, not even kings. The young leopard appears. This is no accident. It's a deliberate challenge, a declaration of usurpation. The two face off. Guttural growls tear through the forest. Silence. Claws dig into the earth. The fight erupts fast and savage. In barely a few blood-soaked seconds, psychological pressure alone has decided the outcome. The young leopard hesitates. He grasps that raw muscle cannot crush the stubbornness of one who has danced with death for years. He takes a step back, turns, and dissolves into the darkness. A temporary concession. Science calls this intraspecific combat the fiercest competition in nature, where the most terrifying enemy wears the face of your own kind. The old king has just shown the next generation that time may be closing the chapter on a legend. But to clear the path of ambition, the challenger will need to pay in blood. October, Masai Mara. The Great Migration pushes forward with force. Hundreds of thousands of wildebeest flow northward from the Serengeti, turning the savanna into a boiling black river. This is the season of abundance, the time the entire savanna depends on. Yet within the pride, the true hunters aren't the males, they're the lionesses. The lioness launches into action. The target, a solitary wildebeest, exceeding 200 kilograms. She strikes from behind, hind legs, driving with full force, her entire weight crashing onto the prey's shoulders. The wildebeest buckles. Jaws close around the throat, not tearing, but suffocating. Precise, patient, until the prey's chest stops moving. Around her, the migration continues. Thousands of wildebeest pass within meters, and not a single one stops. On the savanna morning, is a luxury every species abandons first. These bloody feasts of the abundant season are an investment in the next generation. Four months later, the rains have woven the savanna into an endless carpet of green. Inside a sheltered rock den, a lioness gives birth to 3 cubs, tiny, barely 1.5 kilos each, eyes sealed shut, their fur covered in dark spots that bear a striking resemblance to a leopard's. Those spots will fade with time, giving way to the golden coat of the savanna's sovereign. But in these first weeks, they look nothing like lions. The mother switches dens constantly every few days, not for comfort, but because of the scent. The smell of milk of newborns of birth, all of it is a beacon for any predator within half a kilometer. An exceptional moment, the father visits his cubs. The 3 cubs clamber over his thick mane, gnaw on his ears, bat his tail with their tiny paws. No growls, no threats, just a fleeting peace in the middle of an endless war. Research from 2024 reveals that lionesses actively relocate to distance themselves from unfamiliar males. Proof that on the savanna, maternal love isn't just instinct, it's also strategy. But peace never lasts. Night falls. The sun sinks below the horizon, staining the savanna the color of dried blood. And somewhere else, where the darkness belongs to another, an entirely different empire awakens. This kingdom doesn't belong to lions. It doesn't belong to leopards. It belongs to a species that nature has taught to be born in violence and raised by it. The spotted hyena, a carnivore that science once mistakenly classified as a canid. In truth, it sits closer to the cats, and its society is more complex than either. As darkness swallows, the savanna hyenas emerge from their dens in groups of dozens, moving like a disciplined army. And that army obeys a single iron law. In this hierarchy, even the lowest-ranking female outranks every male. Power here isn't measured by size, it's measured by bloodline. Their weaponry is unmatched. A bite force exceeding 700 kilograms per square centimeter, and a bite force quotient of 124, the highest among all mammals relative to body weight. For comparison, lions carry a greater absolute jaw force, but relative to body size, the hyena reigns without contest. Those jaws aren't built to intimidate, they're built to pulverize bone. The hyena's stomach is a natural chemical reactor. With a pH hovering near 1, its acid is potent enough to dissolve entire bones within hours. But horns and hooves resist even this force. They must be regurgitated as compressed pellets, a reminder that even nature's most efficient digestive engine has its limits. And far from Kenya, heading west, where Zambia unfolds beneath a different sky, the struggle for power takes an entirely different shape. Kafue National Park, 22,000 square kilometers of Miombo woodland, flooded plains and serpentine rivers cutting through the Busanga Flats, Zambia's richest wildlife stage where lions, leopards and hyenas share borders with crocodiles. The Lunga and Lufupa rivers slice through the park like twin arteries sustaining every form of life from bank to bank. In the wet season, the waters rise and flood everything. In the dry season, they retreat and all life converges on the last remaining pools. The purge doesn't end at Kenya's borders. Here, it simply changes shape. High above, the African fish eagle perches atop a dead tree by the bank. With its snowy white head and chest set against powerful dark brown wings, it is the true sovereign of these flooded skies. With a wingspan approaching 2.5 meters, it dives toward the water at dizzying speed. Talons sharp as fishhooks and equipped with tiny barbs beneath each toe snatch even the most elusive prey. Its grip is powerful enough to lift fish weighing several kilograms clear of the surface. It doesn't stop at ordinary fish. Small Nile crocodiles and young water birds also fall within its hunting range, and when its piercing wild cry rings out over the marshes, it has earned a name, the voice of Africa. But beneath the surface, in the murky current of the Lufupa, a silent sovereign waits. The Nile crocodile, 4 to 5 meters long, wielding jaws that slam shut with a bone-rattling force. Yet the muscles that open them are so weak that a person could hold them closed with bare hands, a perfect paradox of evolution. It lies motionless beneath the water. Only its eyes and nostrils break the surface. Not a ripple, not a signal. Then in less than a second, it detonates. An unforeseen ambush strike. The jaws clamp down and trigger the death roll. The body spins, shredding flesh through torque rather than bite. A flawless technique, 100 million years old, unchanged, unimproved. Unlike lions or hyenas, the crocodile's hierarchy is simple. The biggest dominates, the oldest eats first. No alliances, no revolutions, just size and time. A crocodile that has lived 70 years has watched dozens of lion kings rise and fall. But even the king of the river can be vulnerable. In 2005, research documented for the first time mercury in the livers and kidneys of Nile crocodiles in the Kafue and Luangwa rivers, with concentrations reaching 3.7 micrograms per gram of tissue. African crocodiles rank among the most mercury-contaminated crocodilians on the planet. Mercury accumulates through the food chain, from small fish to large fish, and from there to the crocodile. The predator at the summit carries the heaviest burden. A purifier being purified by something it cannot see. Extreme heat and mercury are two invisible enemies that no wild animal can fight. Lions hunt with their strength, hyenas with their numbers, leopards with their cunning. But in Kafue, the quietest danger comes from something nobody can see: rising temperatures and heavy metals seeping into the groundwater. The same pattern of power, the same struggle for survival. Only the threat has changed, and this new threat has no enemy you can bite back. Under Kafu's sunset, the Lufupa's surface reflects a sky ablaze in orange. An old crocodile slips into the current and vanishes without a sound. On the bank, a lion pride rests. Kings of a territory they never fully control. The purge across the savannah has no final victor, only those who survive long enough to become the next purifier. Every creature is a piece in a perfect system, where one's death is the prelude to another's life. A pact sealed in blood, bound by instinct, and sustained for eternity by the sheer will to exist. And somewhere in the Masai Mara, in the glow of a new dawn, a young lion, the surviving cub from the slaughter at the start of this story, rises atop a rocky outcrop and surveys the territory stretching beneath him. A mane just beginning to grow, fangs just beginning to lengthen, and in those amber eyes, the same fire his father carried, the one who killed to seize power. The cycle begins again. In the heart of Africa, across plains that stretch to the horizon, lies a kingdom shaped by the sun and the seasonal rains. This is the Serengeti, a name that means the land of endless plains. Here, the sun is no gentle friend. It's a formidable monarch. Its light bakes the air, conjures shimmering mirages on the golden flats, and parches the cracked riverbeds. Life here is measured by the ability to find shade and the patience to wait. Through the lingering morning mist, a pack of African wild dogs begins to move in unison as if sharing a single heartbeat. Their footfalls are nearly silent ghosts gliding across the arid earth. They are pack hunters with a deeply cohesive social structure where a dominant pair breeds and the rest help raise the pups by sharing food. This cooperation gives their young a survival rate far higher than most other predators. Each dog wears a unique coat pattern, a means of rapid identification amid the speed and distance of a long pursuit. Their large rounded ears don't just dissipate heat, they also capture sound with extraordinary sharpness, allowing them to track prey movement from far away. Their communication is subtle and discreet, built on high-frequency sounds and gestures that ensure precise coordination without alerting their quarry. Before every hunt, the pack performs an energetic greeting ceremony to reinforce bonds and synchronize their strategy. They don't rely on explosive power, but on phenomenal endurance capable of holding high speed over vast distances until their prey is spent. Their hunting success rate ranks among the highest of any terrestrial predator. In the distance, a herd of wildebeest moves slowly, heads rising and falling in the familiar rhythm of vigilance. Their grayish-brown coats, high shoulders, and powerful hindquarters give them a gait that's both ungainly and resilient, perfectly suited for the long treks across the plains. They're herd-dependent herbivores that rely on synchrony and numbers to minimize predation risk. During the Great Migration, their numbers can swell to hundreds of thousands, forming a river of life that seems almost endless. They can pick up signals from their companions with astonishing speed. One individual reacts, and the entire herd surges into motion instantly. Sharp eyesight and keen hearing help them detect danger from afar, though they often act only when the alarm ripples through the group. Yet this same dependence on collective reflex can make them vulnerable to a persistent hunter. When panic sets in, the herd can plunge into brief chaos, creating isolated individuals, ideal targets for a predator. The pursuit doesn't begin with a burst of speed, but with a steady, relentless pace. The dogs take turns leading the chase, applying constant pressure that gradually wears the prey down. They don't need an instant kill, just sustained pressure until their quarry can no longer run. But the Serengeti doesn't run on instinct and biology alone. In the culture of the Maasai people, this is the land that runs forever, a place where every creature carries an ancient story. The Maasai tell of a time when predators competed for dominion over the plains in a war without end. The lion, with his power and pride, proclaimed himself king. The wild dog, with his unity and intelligence, believed true power lived in the pack. To settle the dispute, the creator, whom they call Enkai, established a law. Each would have its own path to survival, and neither would take everything. And from that, two strategies were born, never crossing, but always running in parallel. On the far side of the plains, a group of lionesses advances in silence, bodies pressed to the ground. Their earth-toned coats blend perfectly with the dry grass, rendering them nearly invisible in the dawn light. They are the embodiment of the ambush, powerful muscles, stealthy movement, and an explosive burst of speed over short distances. Within the pride, it's the females who serve as the primary hunters, working together to encircle and isolate their prey. Retractable claws and soft paw pads allow them to close in with barely a whisper. Today's target, an African buffalo that has drifted slightly from its herd. A formidable mass of muscle, each step slow but heavy on the dry earth. The African buffalo is one of the most dangerous herbivores in the Serengeti. They are aggressive, quick to react, and willing to counterattack. With a thick horn boss fused into a bony shield, they can toss or gore a predator in a single charge. They typically move in large herds for defense, maintaining a tight formation with adults surrounding the young in the center. When threatened, the entire herd can wheel around and countercharge instead of fleeing, a tactic rarely seen among herbivores. But a solitary individual becomes a potential target. The lionesses lock eyes on the mark, lower their bodies, and use the terrain to conceal every advance. Then comes the explosion. The lioness launches with everything she has, targeting a point of weakness, trying to close the gap and latch onto the prey before it can fully react. This is no longer a simple hunt. It's a head-on collision between power and technique. The battle is prolonged and drains the energy of both sides. Only when the buffalo falters does the balance tip in the predator's favor. It's a strategy loaded with risk, but the reward is proportional. In the distance, the wild dog pack has moved on, not from fear, but because they understand the rules. Avoiding unnecessary conflict is the key to survival. Two predators, two distinct evolutionary paths coexisting exactly as the Maasai legend describes. One, a master of power and silence. The other, a master of speed, endurance, and unity. And between them, the prey species adapt constantly, sharpening their senses, reflexes, and social behaviors to survive two completely different predation pressures. A morning on the Serengeti isn't simply a series of biological events. It's the reflection of ancestral laws, where every strategy holds its place. As the sun climbs higher, the mist vanishes and reveals a savanna that appears calm. But beneath that tranquil facade hides a complex web of interactions where every creature plays its role in the endless cycle of life. Not only on the Serengeti, but across our entire planet, these same laws repeat in different forms in more extreme environments. Ancestral laws of life, death, and the ceaseless struggle for existence. To witness that battle, we traveled to one of Africa's most unforgiving survival theaters. To the Ovambo people, this is Etosha, the Great White Place. Since 1907, it has stood as one of Africa's oldest reserves, a kingdom where survival writes its history in dust, salt, and silence. Welcome to Etosha, the Great White Desert, where life defies the impossible. Often called Namibia's crown jewel, its national park shelters 4 of Africa's 5 iconic big species: the elephant, the lion, the leopard, and the critically endangered black rhinoceros. In 2024, Namibia suffered the most severe drought in over a century. Across the region, water holes vanished. Hippos, creatures inseparable from water, became trapped in drying mud, their skin cracking under the merciless sun. Blue wildebeest and plain zebra pressed forward in their relentless search for water, their journey guided only by instinct and hope. By early 2025, the rains had returned. With them came renewal. The grasslands revived and the park stirred back to life. Giraffes, steenbok, and uncommon species like the black-faced impala seized the chance to graze drawing predators in their wake. And Etosha's cycle of life began once more. Located in northern Namibia, roughly 500 kilometers from the capital Windhoek, Etosha rises as a majestic sanctuary in the heart of southern Africa. From May through October, the dry season wraps the park in a harsh, relentless heat. Dust swirls across the landscape under a merciless sun, setting the stage for a timeless survival cycle. Daytime temperatures regularly climb from 35 to 48 degrees Celsius, creating an extremely arid environment. Natural water sources virtually disappear. As water becomes scarce, herbivores are forced to converge on these remaining oases, and their concentrated presence draws in predators, turning those few water holes into involuntary battlefields. During this time, Okauquejo emerges as a vital refuge, attracting visitors eager to witness the remarkable biodiversity that thrives despite the landscape's brutal conditions. Situated just 17 kilometers from Anderson Gate, Okauquejo is renowned for its illuminated artificial waterhole where visitors can observe wildlife day and night. The black rhinoceros, with its powerful build, stands up to 1.5 meters tall and weighs around 1,400 kilograms. This formidable creature carries two horns that grow continuously throughout its life. Despite its name, the black rhino's skin is actually grayish-brown, and it often appears brown from the dust and mud accumulated during wallowing. A crucial behavior that helps cool its body and repel parasites. Unlike the white rhinoceros, which grazes on grass, the black rhino is a browser. It uses its pointed prehensile upper lip, much like a finger, to grasp tender leaves and strip them from thorny bushes. It can survive several days without drinking directly, drawing most of its moisture from the vegetation. It consumes, a necessary adaptation in this arid environment. Although its eyesight is notoriously poor, the black rhino inhabits a rich world woven from scent. It regularly deposits dung and urine in communal latrines along its trails. These dung piles function as a social bulletin board where one rhino can learn which individuals have passed their sex and their health status. Yet the dry season remains a constant trial. As water evaporates almost entirely from the ground, even the small rain-fed pools shrink to salt-crusted cracks. During the day, the searing heat drives life toward the shade, but at night, under the soft glow of the spotlights, the black rhino's silhouette emerges. As of 2023, Namibia is home to more than 2,200 black rhinos, representing over a third of the species' global population. The national park alone shelters more than 70% of that number. But such concentration carries heightened poaching risk. Despite the protection of dedicated rangers, GPS tracking drones, and even dehorning to deter illegal hunting. The arid ground of Okaukuejo trembles under the heavy rhythmic steps of a blue wildebeest herd. Standing roughly 1.2 meters at the shoulder and averaging 200 kilograms, their coats gleam with a deep, silvery gray that sometimes catches subtle blue tones under the sunlight, complemented by a long black mane and a thick beard beneath the chin. Despite their bulky frames, the blue wildebeest is surprisingly agile. When threatened, it can hit speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, a crucial adaptation in Etosha. As specialized herbivores, blue wildebeest feed primarily on the short grasses that spring up rapidly after the rains. Their digestive systems are finely tuned to extract nutrients from coarse, low-quality vegetation. At Ocaquejo, artificial waterholes provide vital lifelines during these punishing months. Wildebeest typically gather at these water points in the early morning or late afternoon. By grazing regularly and moving frequently in search of fresh grass, blue wildebeest prevent the vegetation from hardening or deteriorating. Migration is one of the blue wildebeest's most critical behaviors. Yet this instinct is being increasingly disrupted across Africa. Artificial barriers, expanding road networks, and territorial development have fragmented their habitats. In Etosha, migratory routes still exist, but they're growing ever more restricted. Frequently spotted traveling alongside the blue wildebeest herds, plain zebra advance toward the scarce water sources scattered across the savanna's heart. Medium-sized among Africa's wild equids, the plain zebra stands roughly 1.3 meters at the shoulder and can weigh up to 350 kilograms in adulthood. Its signature black and white stripes form a pattern unique to each individual. In Etosha, especially around the Ocaquejo waterhole plains, zebra live in social units known as harems, small groups consisting of a dominant male, several females, and their young. The plains zebra is a strict herbivore, specializing in the short grasses that shoot up quickly after the rains. Its grazing helps regulate plant biomass by clearing old vegetation, allowing fresh shoots to emerge. Seasonal migration is a hallmark survival strategy of the plain zebra. Depending on climate and pasture conditions, some herds travel up to 1,100 kilometers per year in search of sustenance. By early 2025, the wild plains zebra population was estimated at between 150,000 and 250,000 mature individuals, a figure representing a decline of roughly 25% since the 1990s, driven primarily by habitat loss and illegal hunting. As plains zebra herds gather around the scarce waterholes, a lion's gaze locks onto them from the shadows. At Ocauquejo, predator and prey wage a silent battle of wits. During the dry season, Ocauquejo becomes a critical crossroads where life cycles collide. Herbivores have no choice but to approach the dwindling water sources, dragging both predator and prey into an unavoidable confrontation. As animal numbers increase, so does their vigilance. The lionesses adjust their hunting strategies, shifting from pursuit to ambush. When the right moment arrives, one lioness typically advances deliberately toward the herd as a distraction, while 2 or 3 others silently circle through the scrub, cutting off the prey's retreat and forming a tight arc. An adult lion with its powerful build, broad chest, robust forelegs and razor-sharp teeth can bring down prey twice its size. Despite this, lions in the wild carry a relatively low hunting success rate, just 20 to 25%. In the searing heat of the Namibian desert, lions conserve energy by resting up to 21 hours a day, preparing for the demands of nocturnal hunting. Unlike most other cat species, lions are social animals living in groups called prides. A typical pride consists of related females, 1 or more adult males, and their offspring. Amid the hazy dust of the savannah, a lion's deep roar reverberates through the Ocauquejo night, a solemn reminder that life is a sacred gift. The chorus rising into the darkness is more than a warning. It's a deception woven from sound, a phantom army summoned from the night. By synchronizing their calls, a small pride can sound like a legion, creating the illusion of impossible numbers. It's a wall of sound, a battle won through fear before a single claw has been drawn. In the golden light of the last dry season sunset, every step of the African elephant raises a dust cloud across the semi-arid savanna. These giants, reaching up to 4 meters at the shoulder and weighing up to 7.5 tons in adult males, are the largest land animals on Earth. Their iconic curved tusks vary in length, depending on the soil's mineral content. In regions like Etosha, elephants tend to develop shorter tusks compared to those in eastern or central Africa. The elephant is never alone on its survival journey. Every herd is a bonded family, led by an older female known as the matriarch. She holds the oldest memories, capable of recalling the location of seasonal water sources, safe migration routes, and how to avoid threats. But her perception reaches far beyond memory. Her wisdom doesn't travel on the wind, it moves through the continent's very bones. She hears the pulse of the earth, sensing the distant thunder of another herd's passage as a tremor beneath her feet. It's an ancient language of vibration, a secret conversation that ensures a family is never truly alone. During the dry season, the landscape shifts dramatically. As natural waterholes dry up, vegetation withers, and cracked earth reveals the scarcity of moisture. Herds are forced to cover dozens of kilometers each day, searching for water and food. At Ocauquejo, year-round, artificial waterholes provide a crucial refuge. The African elephant is a herbivore, consuming up to 150 kilograms of vegetation per day and drinking up to 100 liters of water. Its diet consists of grass leaves, bark, and occasionally fallen fruit. With such consumption, elephants act as true ecosystem engineers, clearing paths through scrubland, toppling small trees, and carving trails through dense vegetation. Although the African elephant can live between 60 and 70 years in the wild, its path is fraught with challenges: ivory poaching, habitat loss from human expansion, and conflicts with local communities. The wild never halts its march, and the most relentless laws of survival keep dictating destiny every second, every minute in the most remote corners of the earth. From the harpy eagle's devastating descent, tearing through the airspace above the Amazon canopy, to the jaguar's silent power-laden stride across the shadowed jungle floor, everything forms part of the majestic pieces composing the canvas of eternal life. If you can hear that burning call resonating inside you, answer nature's summons by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon today so you never miss the next incredible expedition alongside us.